Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage. Welcome back to episode 31 of Europa Universalis IV as Great Britain. It's time to stop saying England because we haven't really been England for a while. Quick recap, in the last video we attacked and managed to militaristically vassalize Scotland. We'll integrate them at some point. We also attacked and took two provinces from Brittany. One we kept for ourselves, one we gave to France because we can integrate them later. And we're also almost finished annexing Flanders. Now, we are below our relations limit, so we could get another relation. Our relationship with Portugal isn't great. I wasn't really working on the relationship with Portugal because I figured that Portugal and Castile, or Portugal and Spain as they are now, I would be going to war with quite a bit. However, thinking about that, we probably do want to try and keep Portugal on side for a little while because it's probably going to be Castile we'll be taking some chunks, or Spain will be taking some chunks out of. We do, of course, also need to assimilate France, which we will do at some point. Obviously, the 50 years got reset once they had their little war for independence. Now, that only really triggered because I forced them to flip their religion, which gave them 50% liberty desire, plus they were having their independence supported by the Ottomans. So even though the time limit has now been reset, the good thing is they are now Protestant. So when the time comes that I can integrate them, all of their provinces will be Protestant, and I won't have to mess around doing that, hopefully. Liberty desire, they don't actually have any. Scotland has a little, but I don't think that is a massive problem. So we're going to go ahead and unpause the game. Just quickly before I do that, just wanted to check what tradition I'm getting from forts. Yeah, I'm only getting 0.8 tradition from forts. That's because I don't have all that many forts. We will need to build some more forts. Definitely worth doing. I think what I might do, we haven't got the money yet. I might build one fort in Cornwall, just because that's where enemy troops seem to land quite a lot. I don't want to go mad building forts around the British mainland. There's not an awful lot of point in doing that, because I think most of what we're going to be defending will probably be France. Now, the amount of tradition you get from maintained forts is based on how much total development you have. So but when we integrate France, we'll have so much more development that we'll be getting a much lower amount of tradition. So we'll need more forts to bring that back. So that's what we're going to try and do. Also working on coring a more, which we took from Brittany. Plus 99 relations with Scotland. We're trying to suck up to them. I think we are making some progress on Flanders. Are we making progress? Yeah, very, very little, but we are still making some progress, giving France time to rebuild their army a little bit. Now, we're only at +1 stability. I'd like to grab more, but at the moment, we're actually behind on administrative tech, so I really don't want to spend admin points anywhere else if I can. Now, what have we got for our idea groups? We do have expansion ideas. We're going to need to get exploration ideas. Simply because we need to start getting out there and doing some colonizing. Now, have the Protestant League formed yet? Either doesn't appear to. I should be able to join it if it does form. I can't understand why it isn't there, because the current emperor is the Palatinate, who is Catholic, and Burgundy are Protestant, so I thought the league should have formed. I'll keep my eye on it because it does happen after 1550. But the idea behind it, hopefully, is to get involved in the war on the side of the Protestants, help the Protestants win, and then hopefully the HRE will become Protestant, which would then mean that we'd have a relationship boost with them, because I don't really want to be going to war with the HRE. Spain will almost certainly remain Catholic, which means that they will have a negative relations with the HRE, so they may help us a little bit there. Our legitimacy is really, really low at the moment. Do we have even have a royal marriage with Portugal right now? What am I looking at? Want my country, Portugal. No, we have an alliance, but we don't have a royal marriage. We probably should go and get one and suck up to them. Maybe when we have dealt with the annexation over here, although that is taking a while. Let's bring you back from Scotland. We don't need you there right the way. Now, Portugal, who are you currently allied with? You're allied with me and Spain, yeah. So I'll suck up to you for a little while. Before we do that, we will go for the royal marriage. And then we'll go and improve relations with you. Because I think it's probably Spain that we're going to be taking some stuff from first. They are quite big and stompy, but we should be good. We also need to... Let's wait for these improved relations. That's going to be now. We can send you. Now let's have a quick look at our naval force limit right now. I'm just slightly below my military force limit. We'll need to get that up. Naval force limit, I'm only slightly behind. We do need to get a bit of a larger trade fleet, though, I think. So we can work on that. Do we have any more ships built at the moment? No. We have that extra transport. We can get 3 more ships, which hardly seems worth it right now. We should almost certainly consider getting the extra infantry, though. So let's go ahead and we'll grab 2 over here, and we'll also grab 2 over here. It's always worth having more infantry than anything else, because those are the guys that always get flattened during battles. We can invest in a new idea, which would be a military idea. Now, we are ahead of time on military. So let's go ahead and grab the extra garrison size. So that also now gives us 5% discipline, which will be very useful in a war. And the next one, which will finish it off, will give us minus 10% land attrition and plus 50% land force limit modifier. So that's going to be really, really useful. Rebel uprising, the Breton separatists. Now, where is that likely to happen? Still not for 3 years, and it's likely to happen in a more, but that's fine. I think we can deal with that. I know we do have some loans to pay off. How much will it cost us to grab a castle? 210. So can't quite afford to do that, but we'll go and get one built in Cornwall as soon as we can afford to do that. And we're just trying to sort of just take our time at the moment. I mean, Portugal has a lot of stuff down here. I can't really protectorate anybody down here because they're all too far away. Oh, Ottoman's no longer rivaling us. But it would be nice to come down here and try and grab something. I mean, obviously we can't even fabricate claims because we're just nowhere near any of this stuff. And there are some new mechanics now. You know, it is possible to... Yeah, you're outside of our colonial range. There are some new mechanics now where you can actually not vassalize, protectorate a civilization and demand land from them, which is quite cool. As you can see that most of the African coast has been discovered, and between Spain and Portugal, they're really working their way around the coast, and I don't think we're going to be the first to settle and colonize, which is a shame, but we will just take some stuff militaristically. I think it's the only way we can realistically do that. So we've got some more land units now that we got together, so let's just make sure they all get teamed up in the right places. You're going to group up, and you're going to group up. We're all still running at speed 3. And yeah, when are the loans due? 1555. Would be nice to get these loans paid, but I really do like the idea of having army tradition. So let's go ahead and make sure we get another castle in there. Oh, gain some free manpower. Thank you very much. What is our army tradition? 55. Oh, and it is still ticking down. I mean, obviously it's still going to tick down even if we get the maximum +1 from maintained forts, but at least it won't tick down as much. So that's fine. What else were we losing that from? Just standard decay. That's fine. I think we can see that through. It'd be nice if we get this legitimacy sorted. How are we going with that annexation? 92% almost. And we're almost finished on a core as well. Now, we do still have a little bit of a coalition against us. So it's mainly these guys up here in the northern HRE. So I don't really want to expand to the east anymore, although we really would like to take Nevers at some point. But I think we'll definitely be doing something against Spain as soon as possible. So there are reports of ministers preaching in the Reformed faith have turned up in Calais. They appear to come from Scotland in order to encourage our local population to resist and fight back against our attempts to root out heresy. So it's basically just reduced local missionary strength, and Great Britain's opinion of Scotland is changed by -25. That's fine. Don't really care about that. Yeah, because Scotland are actually Reformed. Scotland, actually. thinking about that. This will give you Liberty Desire. Right, enforce religion. Yeah, sure. Not having any of this from you. Now, that will increase their Liberty Desire, so we'll just make sure we've got someone up there in Lothian. What we could also do is we could... we don't want to spend 20 prestige. We'll just leave it. It will tick down over time. There we go. We've just lost 10 prestige. So imagine if I'd have gone and clicked that button, we'd have ended up losing 30 prestige there, which we really, really don't want to do. So we managed to get that core. Yes, Scotland will have high Liberty Desire, but that is going to start ticking down now, and it will force them to change their religion. It's only, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces, but it's 5 provinces it'll save me having to convert. Legitimacy is going up slightly. Shouldn't have built those extra troops, actually, because once we grab Flanders, that will put us over our force limit. Sometimes it's worth actually keeping vassals and personal union partners around, because they will have a higher force limit, and they can provide their own generals. I mean, obviously, when I integrate France, I'm not going to get any extra leader slots for that. But... you know, France has got 2 generals of their own, and France gets good generals, although it will be a while before we can integrate France. They're warning Burgundy. 1539, so yeah, it's going to be a little while. But France is still happy. It's only Scotland that have that high Liberty Desire, and that will start to burn away. So we are fine with that. That's good. How's that rebel uprising doing? It's at 80% now. So it might well still pop. And the Burgundian one is actually in Artois, which is fine. I guess we go ahead and put you there. It'll slow. Well, actually, let's put you in Calais. We'll just let it pop. Why are we getting all this here anyway? Why do we have so much unrest? Intolerance. Is it because of the culture or the religion? You're reformed. You shouldn't be reformed, you should be Protestant, that's why, and we can't flip it back over. Okay. No debate in Parliament, let's go and have a look at that, see what the options are. Get another 1 base tax somewhere. Recruitment time. Missionaries and missionary strength, not going to be all that useful. Gain 2 mercantilism, that'd be really nice actually. And 10 years of domestic trade power plus 5%, let's go ahead and get that. Bribe MP. Lose some army tradition. Well, we're not at war at the moment. Lose 5 legitimacy. I'd rather not. Gain some inflation. Yeah, that's fine. Diplo power. Yeah, we've got a fair bit of that. That puts us up to 75%. Okay, let's go for the bribe. Now, what do we like on Diplo tech? We are still ahead of time, and we'll be able to buy another level soon. We really want to get our next idea group as quickly as possible, which is going to be at 14. And we are currently only at 11. Yes, it's going to be a little while before we do get our next idea group. But we do want to start colonising. There's lots of interesting stuff going on over here in the HRE. Well, it's not technically the HRE, this bit's all Burgundy. HRE slightly further to the east, but still. Lots of interesting occupation changes going on right there. Hungary no longer considers Great Britain a rival. Okay, so who is rivaling me at the moment then? Oh, there we go. I am being rivalled by the Papal State and Spain. That's fine. Right, what have we got here? Heretics and heretics. Right, you've spawned down there. Interestingly, you've actually spawned there on Flanders, but let's go ahead and move you in. We should be able to finish that up. You guys should beat those guys quite easily. Those guys are going to go down quite easily as well. There we go. 2 battles won. You guys can move back into Artois. Well, the Artois one can still fire, so I'm just going to keep you in Calais, because that means that I'd sooner let them fire. Oh, Frankfurt has entered into a coalition against us. I'd sooner let these rebels in Artois fire and go and stomp them and get a few years of recent uprising than having to just reduce the time it takes and still have to deal with them later on. That just seems pointless, really. So the coalition's still actually growing against us. That's probably because a few truces are running out. That would be my guess, really. We've managed to integrate Flanders, which is fantastic. Let's just go ahead and pause things up. We now have too few seats in Parliament because we've actually gained more provinces. So we do need to make somewhere else a seat. Now, Greenwell means they already have a seat. Where do we want to make a seat? What has fairly good development? 14, 15, 14, 27 obviously in that one already is. Norfolk's quite low. Derby 7, 11, 5, 10, 14 Lancashire, but that's already 1. Oh, 21 over here. I think 21 development. Yeah, let's go ahead and make you a seat in Parliament. There you go. So that should be enough. That's the first thing sorted. Now, of course, we do gain an extra fort here. We'll gain a couple of extra forts. What does that put us on for our tradition? We did gain some extra land as well. Yeah, 0.85. Now, we are massively over our force limit. In fact, we're over our force limit by 8. So, I'm going to go ahead and instantly get rid of these guys because they're costing me a lot of money. We also have a heavy here and 5 transports. Now, what is our naval force limit like? We are 2 over our naval force limit. So, I guess what I could do, split off the heavy. We'll get rid of it. And we will split off just 1 of the transports. And we will get rid of that. And then that gives us 15 transports, which is a nice round number to move sort of 15 regiments at a time. What have we got here as well? 4 more lights. You should be protecting trade in the English Channel. What trade power do we now have in the English Channel? 76%. That is good. He should all merge up. So we shouldn't be over our force limits anymore. Apparently there's a heavy in production somewhere. Yeah, you guys are building a ship. You're also building a cannon. So stop that. Gives us some money back. That's actually quite cool. So they were actually building stuff before we integrated them. And now that I have integrated them, I managed to cancel that and get the money back, which is quite cool. You guys are going to group up and... Wow, you need to do some upgrading. But we've also got some loans to pay off, so I'm very conscious of that. Scotland's Liberty Desire doesn't appear to be going down all that much. Okay, so we can invest in a new idea, which would be an admin idea. Improve shipyards, useful, but we're waiting to get the tech because we are behind the time. We can also afford our Diplotech. There's actually not an awful lot of point doing the upgrade yet. We'll wait until we can grab the flutes. And that will give us some more trade efficiency as well. Now, we are ahead of time, but we're not at our cap yet, so we don't need to do that just now. So we can save... We can wait on that for a while. Now, what I was going to do was suggest that we should fabricate some claims against Spain. So they hate us anyway. Let's go ahead and fabricate some claims. Let's get Vizcaya. Let's start going around and trying to get some of their coastal provinces from them if we can. Because coastal provinces will reduce their ability to colonise, and it will also reduce their naval force limit, which will be really good for us. So, Free Diplomat, what are we going to do with you? Should we go back to trying to suck up to Scotland, probably? Improve relations. Yeah, the Scottish are currently disloyal. They view Great Britain as an oppressive overlord, and they are not likely to offer much help in wars. That's because we forced them to change their religion. It will go down over time. It'll tick away. I'm just making sure I've got a little bit of an army down here in case they do decide to get fresh and come and attack us. So by the time we get into 1557, we should be able to pick up the next Diplotech, which will be nice. We're still expecting that rebel uprising to pop at some point. What's our relationship like with the likes of Austria? Austria still loves us. Obviously, we're a heretic religion, but that might change. Spain has entered into a military coalition against us. Now, that's quite a pain, because that now means if I try and attack Spain, the whole coalition comes in. Gain some free powers, which is nice. There was one other thing I wanted to check. Yep, this war. Could have sworn that this should have started by now. I should be able to enter into it, even though I'm not in the HRE. Unless I'm missing something. So, who's this? Wow, okay, no, it's just ended. I was just about to say, most of Burgundy is now gone. Can't do anything more with Portugal. Let's recall this diplomat. How is Burgundy doing here? You are allied with Cleves and Alsace. Might still possibly be able to take something from them. Let's go ahead and... well, we do have a free diplomat, or at least we will do soon. Let's go ahead and fabricate... Well, maybe we don't need to. We can't fabricate a claim because they're not neighbouring us, they're neighbouring France. France, though, do you happen to have any claims on any of their stuff? No, why don't you go and fabricate a claim on Nevers? Because that'd be a really useful idea. Yeah, they got claims on our stuff, but they don't have any claims on Nevers or French Comté, which is really weird. Oh, well. Probably not a good idea to go for that while we're in the coalition anyway. We're still going to get these fabricated claims over here. The aggressive expansion is burning off, so hopefully other people will start to leave the coalition. And if it just ends up being Spain on their own, well, a coalition of one isn't a coalition, really. Brabant's opinion of us changed by +60 or gain 15 prestige. I'll get the prestige. Oh, and we actually completed the mission, so we got an extra stability, so I'm glad I took that option now. New mission. We should rely more on our trade income. Okay, not too sure how far we're off from that. Colonise Sarah. I don't think we can really reach that. Protect our brethren in Zealand. What do we have to do there? Zealand owned by Great Britain. Yeah, that's probably not going to be a clever idea, because who is that? It's currently owned by Gelre. Gelre are not in the coalition, but they are allied with Brandenburg, so I probably don't want to be attacking them. So let's try and get our trade income up, if at all possible. We can just build some more trade buildings. How are we looking on trade? What is our income, actually? Trade is almost 60% of our total income. It's not bad. And we can certainly improve that once we get our diplomatic tech, which will give us an extra 10% trade efficiency, and we'll still get the trade efficiency for being ahead of time. So we might actually manage to do it. I do want to get some of these loans paid off as well. How much is a loan going to... That's a lot of loans. There we go. We can repay one loan. There's one down. Leaves us with no money, but we only have one loan remaining. But we are over the 20-minute mark, so I'm going to pause there, and that is a good spot to end the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Hope you are still enjoying EU4, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.